guys, welcome back to Let's Play Chrono. Last time we had one of my favorite scenes in the game as we finally confronted Miguel, the end of the tower. Get it? After one hell of an interesting fight, we managed to make it out of there, and the Dead Sea began to crumble. According to Miguel, had something to do with fate. And then we got Deus Ex Machina'd by the Sky Dragon out of there, and we were told something interesting. The Sky Dragon told us that if we want to get back to the Sea of Eden, we need to gain the support of the 6 dragons. And for some reason, defeating Miguel, he said as much, opens the lock on the dimensional distortion, sending us, or giving us the ability rather, to get back to another world. Now, I'm not exactly sure why, other than the fact that he said that was going to take us back and unlock the pathway. Could have had something to do, he was saying something about fate as if it had action, or it was able to make its own choices, it had agency. It was saying something about it destroying the frozen flame so no one could get its hands on it, or something like that. So I don't know if that had something to do with the lock, or destroying the Dead Sea had something to do with the lock. I don't know, and unless you're going to get into spoiler territory, the game's not going to tell you. So we're going to move on from that idea. Now, they told us that we had to gain the support of the 6 dragons. Now, what they didn't tell you, and what's rather interesting, is that these 6 dragons are spread across both worlds, which is why they've now given us access to going back to another world. But if you recall from earlier in the game, we've been to a few places and we've seen a couple of dragons. In Homeworld, we've been to the Water Dragon Isle, and in this world, the water's flourishing, and we even spoke with the Water Dragon. In another world, not this one, we saw the Black Dragon sleeping in Marbule. We saw a little tiny dragon in Mount Pyre in another world. Said he was a fiery dragon or a red dragon or something like that. And there's some differences on Earth Dragon Isle in the other world. In this one, I think it's filled with more sand. We don't really know what that means because we couldn't get to the end on in either world, but there's some differences there. Sky Dragon Isle seems pretty much the same. There wasn't anything going on there in another world, and here in Homeworld, Starkey was there, so we picked up Starkey. But yeah, that, wait a minute. 2, 3, 4. It's only 5. Where's the 6th dragon? We've been everywhere. Not quite true. One place we haven't been in either world yet. It's rather interesting. They've basically given us a quest and told us to go through both worlds in order to figure it out. Now, if you ever want to do any farming as far as trying to get shiny materials with your elements, your best place to go is here, and I believe this one, if I remember correctly, will take you back to the Dead Sea. And you should be able to run relatively common into either these guys or into the Mannequins. Now, the Mannequins are interesting. I've done a little bit of extra work and kind of looked around. There's mixed information about them. It seems that some people say that they have 2 stances, and those 2 stances, one of which it will counter physical attacks with its own physical attacks, and others have it that in the other stance they will counter spells with a spell of the same element, or like the same color. So you might be able to use them to, like the Couscous enemies, if you want to farm some high-level elements and trap them from them, but it's easier to just go fight the couscouses in my opinion, so I would recommend doing that. But just so you know, that option is there. I only saw them counter physical attacks to me this playthrough, so... I've also heard some conflicting reports saying that the AI script for them changes depending on whether you're actually in the Dead Sea or whether you're in the, whatever it is, the Bend of Time there. So, who knows? I haven't been able to clear it all up, and to be honest, I'm probably not going to. The couscous enemies are easy enough, and I don't have to do additional research to be able to use them for that purpose, so... Now... we're back in another world for the first time in a long time, and some things are different. Some things are the same. First time we came to another world, these were the enemies that replaced the easy ones, or the easier ones, in Homeworld. We also heard something about Serge leading an army? What's with the music? Only residents of Arni are allowed through here, all taking shelter from the evils of Serge and his minions. Interesting. Now remember, this is another world. Nobody knew Serge here when he was here before. And there was something special that we found right about here. A rainbow shell. This can only be done during a limited window. At least as far as I remember. But yeah, it's not taken back because, well, there's no one to take it back. And you can go to quote-unquote Serge's house, and the Komodo dragon is still here. Pay attention to the music for a moment. Dragon spirit. You can still rest here. And when you're done, he still takes his money. But the music's changed. It's happy music again. They neglected to put the trigger in the house for the change in music. It's only outside. It's kind of interesting that way. So there's nothing else we can do here in Arni Village. You just pick up the one piece there. And one other thing I would like to do, I had mentioned that we could come here once we finally got access to another world again, and we can trap the Golem summon. In fact, I am going to hop right back out to get that autosave. And then we will go fight the centipedes, and I will get the Golem summon from them. Now, I've already shown the process of trapping earthquake elements from these guys, and this is basically the same way. Now, some of the information I have says that you need to... who did I put it on? I think I put it on. Some information that I've had seems to think that you must fight groups of 4 in order for the golem to be used. I'm going to test that here because I don't remember that being the case, but I wasn't also paying attention, and I just got my autosave. So here's the Golem summon. It's going to get all of the field effect into yellow there, and we're going to see. Okay, doesn't matter. You don't need to worry about it being 4. You just come here, you fight any group of centipedes, and get the field effect all yellow, and they will use it. Now, you don't need to finish them, but why not? They are probably meant more so to be tackled now, considering you can see how much more damage, or like how they're actually surviving right now, and they wouldn't have before. Here's an attack we haven't seen before, Starlight. Now, do note that I do not have the plasma pistol on Starkey at the moment, because I only needed him to build up to put, to use his level 7 element slot, because Unfortunately, Norris doesn't have one yet. And he has giant mechs, because of course he does. Go, a little more damage, and let's just finish this up. Interestingly enough, there's actually something else we can do here right now. It is entirely optional to come here right now, probably is at any time, really. But let's continue a little further in here. Actually, I think it's the other way. Do I have to go the other way? I don't remember. Now, the reason that we're doing this is I believe this has something to do with it being on the Do Not Save Kid path. If I remember correctly, that's what's going on here. Or I'm misremembering. I might be misremembering because we're not fighting a beaver right now. And what can you do? But I know there's something else to do here. Wait a minute. Were they doing that in this world? I thought they did that in Homeworld. The ground collapse. There's a strange odor coming from the hole. Maybe something we should avoid altogether. I suggest you not go down. Well, I'm not going to listen to you, so if you want to go deeper in the forest, you'll need equipment, which we have. Let's take a little jump on in. In we go. There we go. Can't move. Oh, it's a ghost dwarf thing. Forest is dead. Our Hydra perished. Remember, even though we didn't do the quest on this path, this is the Do Not Save Kid path, we came back here and we noted that someone had killed the Hydra anyway. Hydra perished. We hate mankind so much. Listen to the planet's woes. And we're thrown into a quote-unquote boss fight against the spirit of the Hydra, Dehydrate, in a battle so inconsequential that they didn't even give us battle music, let alone boss music. Now, I prefer it because I like the song, but it doesn't change the fact that, yeah, this guy is not a challenge. He's only got, like, or I guess technically it's she, has only a little more than 1,000 HP. Doesn't do anything particularly deadly, though if the field effect goes all black, she can cast Black Hole on the party, and that has a chance it leads to death. However, it's an undead boss in a video game. Say it with me now. Annihilates undead. Bye-bye. You can steal a free fall if you wait till later and then fight with have someone who can steal in your party. And you get, or no, sorry, free fall is the drop. You can steal a, I've kept calling it a Demon Charm over the course of the game just because of how it's spelled. I think it's technically pronounced Demon Charm, but I'm always going to, I think the first time I even talked about it, I called it a Demon Charm. But I'm always going to fall back into my old habit of, you know, pronouncing it how it's spelled. Rarely you get a Hellbound. There's nothing else to this boss, quote unquote, at all. We brought about any change by defeating that Hydra. Nobody has the answer. We should get going. And we get Hydra's Shadow. Now, this is a tech for a character we don't actually have yet. I could have done this later when we actually have that character, but I figured now is as good a time to come here really as any. There's no additional scene from what I recall for doing this with said character in the party, so we're just going to move on. There is one other thing I did want to check. Okay, we can't do it now, but at least we managed to get our element there. We will throw that on Norris because I will be using him before too long anyway. We are going to put it probably in that spot, just because now that I have access to that, he'll eventually get thrown back in the party and we'll be able to work on his spells there. I was also going to show off one other thing. Let's do that with Starkey while he's still in the party. Hello, new enemy. Now we've got a couple new enemies. One of them is the Shadow Cats here. The Shadow Cats are nothing particularly special. One interesting note about a lot of the enemies earlier in the game is they usually had more magic defense than, more physical defense than magical defense. It's starting to level off, and it's not that we're getting, they're getting weaker to physicals, they're getting stronger to both, and they're starting to balance out a little bit now. So for a while, it's not going to really matter too much what we use as far as damage goes. The Tutton Shaman is something we do want to have Sprig kill. We don't need any more special enemies or anything like that, but having access to this one, I think, gives us access to a spell. Like, Tutton Shaman can cast a spell that I can trap. So basically, I think most of the rest of the enemies I recommend you kill with Sprig, say for one that I can remember off the top of my head, are primarily just so you can get access to these spells in case you want to trap them later. So it's not critical by any stretch of the imagination, but I figured I would at least let you know that the option is there. And we're going to fast forward through your stuff there. Ow! That did a lot of damage. This one, the Tutton Shaman, is red elemental, has very weak magical attack. Let's do a few attacks here. Can I stop missing everything, please? Now, the enemies don't do a lot of damage, but I can't hit anything. Alright, so let's try and kill that one with Sprig there. No, not quite. Enough? Not quite enough. There we go. So we got the kill for that. That's all I needed you to do. And let's see here. I want to set up to use a summon. Let's see if... Do I have anything that is white innate? Black, 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 black. I don't think I have anything that's white innate. There's a lot of black innate characters in here. Yeah, I don't think any of those are going to do it, so you're just going to defend. It's like I probably should have done it already, but what we're going to do here is we will start with Starkey here. We'll go for weak-minded. And we'll do a quick defense there. We will do another weak-minded, because it doesn't matter what you're using. We will use a simple attack here to get that last level. And then we're going to go back over to Lynx because we don't have any other options. Purify something. And let's use that, that summon element, Unicorn. Remember, this one doesn't do any damage. So it's just to show off the animation more than anything else, since there was almost never any use for this ever. Like, it's a good buff. It's basically Big Guard in, like, the weak version of Big Guard, you know, protecting Shell, basically. But you need the field effect all one color in order to use it, so why would you bother? Anyway. Figured I'd show off the animation at least. But yeah, I'm not really worried about these guys at all. We've killed one of the Tutton Shamans there, so we have access to that for later if we care. Now, Sprig cannot doppelgang every enemy in the game. I don't think I ever mentioned that, but she can doppelgang a bunch of them. Alright, I think that's pretty much all I needed Starkey for, so we can pull Starkey from the party now. Let's just pull you out and put Norris in your place. We're still going to keep Sprig with us for a little while. Probably pull off some of Starkey's elements before I forget where they are. Move. Oops. And throw off all your other stuff there as well. Now let's get back in here and finish up what we were doing before. Wonder if there's anything unique up here right now. Oh, they follow you. Okay, up we go. I don't think there's anything special here other than the fact that there are new enemies here. One other minor note is I believe the Shadow Cats are a secondary way of getting access to trapping the mothership summon. In fact, in my original notes, or in the one of the original articles that I was reading that was talking about the trapping elements, that's the one they recommended using. It was only later on that I found out from a different source that you could use the airframes on the Isle of the Damned there. Gave us access to it on in the other world, so I had access to it ahead of time. I don't need to fight you guys right now. And we made it all the way through. The only reason we're supposed to, like, not be able to just walk all the way through, I guess, is because the enemies are new. It was just kind of showing the trend of things. Alright, Termina. Interesting. This is not the situation that I left. Remember, this is another world. The poor army was not in command here. Suspended all economic activities in Termina. We have only left the element shop alone, but the smith is a stubborn one. He will not close the shop for anything. The bar over there has been shut down as well. Okay. Interesting. What exactly has gone on here? Now, I recommend you bring Norris along in the party. It will add some additional dialogue in a little bit. There's a bunch of things we can do right now. Apparently, Norris is the commander in this world as well. Let's check out the inn. What do you say? So you know who I am in this world, too. Interesting. Can I talk to you? Checking for anyone suspicious. Are there any people actually in here this time? No. I don't know if there's ever anybody in any of these rooms. Not a lot of rooms that like inn rooms that you can explore in this game, just because of the limited number of towns, I guess. Like, there are towns, but you know, half the towns are the same town in a different world. Well, they haven't taken down the statue yet. Wonder what's going on over here. What's Skelly up to? Okay. What, you're not going to join me? Doesn't look like there's a cutscene over there at the moment. Interesting. They've changed a bunch of things. What about that guy that was back here? Is he still there? Definitely not scared. Nope, not at all. They definitely give us reason to re-explore areas. Well, technically correct. Ooh. Interesting. I wonder exactly how Lynx, our enemy, has managed this. They apparently know the image of Lynx as a member or, associated with the poor army. And yet they've identified Serge as the villain, the evil that they're fighting. But Lynx has our body, we have his body. How is there another Lynx? Is that what's going on? I'm confused. Down here. I need less confusion. No suspicious ships, huh? They seem to have blocked off a bunch of stuff here. Didn't see the famed Viper Festival. Can I go up there, please? Thank you. What's going on Nikki's ship right now? All the girls are in here. Yeah, you and me, I get it. You say nothing different than you did before. Concert's been postponed and Nikki's acting strange. Well, where's Nikki at? He was in my party, actually not on this path, but... Yeah, won't tell us why. Something shocked him, huh? I wonder if on this path he was still able to confront Marcy and determine that they were related. Okay, can't do anything about that. Don't get stuck on everything all the time. Really impressing you, huh? Need work again. Was he not working earlier? I can't remember everything that happened. It's from world to world and from time to time. Welcome. Well, we can buy some stuff. Nostrums, if we haven't had access to those up until now, they're basically a better version of the capsule. I don't think we need any of those. I will top off my supply at 20 for all of these guys. Those are good at 10. And we have access all the way up to level 4 with all of the elements here, so nothing else particularly special element-wise. Very few new things. Well, let's check out the bar. Well, they said it was closed. Polar Soldier is with you, too. Oh? What's going on here? This was locked earlier. Giles here. That's the wrong way. Feel I might have met you before, but you cannot remember. So he won't join the party. Go in from the left side. What do you mean? It's a wall. I did not mean to talk to you again. Go away. Yeah, eventually if you mash the button on the wall, you get into a secret area. Oh. I have a feeling this was a trap. Yep, this was a trap. Okay, well, I guess we have boss time. That's fun. You know who I am, do you? The poor scumbags with you. Well, as long as you're here, you're one of us. What's going on here? After we fought you guys, we also entered Fort Dragonia. They followed us in. They found the general, who's still alive at this point. Interesting. Found some shiny shards, if you recall, right after the switch happened. Something happened, or something was broken. We brought the general to Hermit's hideaway and prayed for his recovery. Able to escape death, he still needs rest. Can't leave the manor for too long. Came back here leaving Marcy behind to take care of him, only to find the poor military had taken control of Termina. Norris isn't completely convinced on what his counterparts are doing in the other world here. Though, if you recall, they pretty much did the same thing on the other world. Maybe he's questioning that too. I don't know. But bringing him along gets you some additional dialogue. Regardless, that's why he's acting alongside me. Don't get in my way. The general talks in his sleep. Lynx is behind this. Indeed. Interestingly enough, these guys have been relatively quick to realize the truth, considering how much they dislike Serge after all the times that he's kicked their asses over the course of the game. Got to rescue Lady Riddell. She's being held captive at the manor. The poor military has converted into their credit card debt, so they have control over the manor and Termina. That uniform you can enter undetected. Let's join forces for the time being. It's not too late to go after him. Interesting. My rivals for a good chunk in the game, including Karsh, who was kind of the reason we did any of this stuff, because otherwise we probably would have hung out in Arni Village trying to figure out why nobody remembers me. And now they want to join forces. The shards on the ground must have been pieces of the dragon tier. I've gathered as many as possible, but don't have any use for them. You can have them. We receive the Tier of Hate. Here you're given the option of which one you want to join. Either has its advantages. Karsh is the better character. And without spoiling things, there aren't any more paths to worry about in this game. So I recommend you choose Karsh. And look at Karsh. Not only is Karsh strong, he's downright good. Huge HP, huge strength, good defense. He's even got decent magic attack. His weakest attribute is his accuracy, which we can fix with Eagle Eyes. He's actually really good. So we're going to replace Sprig and throw Karsh in the party. No idea what the military will pull off. I highly recommend you leave Norris in the party here, because I don't believe there's another way of getting him back in, and there is another additional sequence having Norris in the party here when you go to leave. I think this is the scene I was thinking about before, where I thought I missed a scene, but yeah. So you're hunting down Serge. And yeah. So yeah, I was thinking about this scene playing out earlier in the game with the other Norris that's currently in my party. But no, I didn't miss a scene back then. This was the scene I was thinking of. I just mixed up which world it was in. But yeah, absolutely keep Norris in the party here. And I think there's an initial scene having Karsh here as well. Heard that you headed to Fort Dragonia with the general. What happened there? Well, I know of him. The man behind you is a dragoon. You or me? Yeah, he responds to both characters. I suspect he would respond to Zoa the same way. But as I've mentioned, Karsh is the better character, as far as combat goes anyway. Another you and leave it at that. Yet there's no way that's ever going to work. It appears that both of us need to look at the big picture. We will only have limited understanding by staying in the same place. Urgent message from command. Level 2 security message. This man is one of us, yet you just saw a dragoon and a clone of yourself. I would be pretty worried about spreading any information with people like that around. Groibek has arrived at the manor. Interesting. Must return to the manor at once. Come to the manor a little later. We will discuss this in more detail. Now, there's a bunch of other stuff we can do here in Termina, but that's pretty much all the time we have for today. Next time, we will be heading back into Termina, talking to some people, having some interesting interactions with characters from different worlds, and seeing what all is going on in the time that we've been gone. That's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.